The complete works of Swami Vivekananda, My Plan of Action, an address by Swami Vivekananda at Victoria Hall in Madras in 1897, Part 8. Therefore, my friends, my plan is to start institutions in India to train our young men as preachers of the truth of our scriptures in India and outside India. Men, these are wanted. Everything else will be ready, but strong, vigorous, believing young men, sincere to the backbone, are wanted. 100 such, and the world becomes revolutionized. The will is stronger than anything else. Everything must go down before the will, for that comes from God and God Himself. A pure and a strong will is omnipotent. Do you not believe it? Preach. Preach unto the world the great truths of your religion. The world awaits for them. For centuries, people have been taught theories of degradation. They have been told that they are nothing. The masses have been told all over the world that they are not human beings. They have been so frightened for centuries till they have nearly become animals. Never were they allowed to hear of the Atman. Let them hear of the Atman, that even the lowest of the low have the Atman within, which never dies and never is born. Of Him whom the sword cannot pierce, nor the fire burn, nor the air dry, immortal without beginning or end, the all-pure, omnipotent, omnipresent Atman. Let them have faith in themselves, for what makes the difference between the Englishman and you? Let them talk their religion and duty and so forth. I have found the difference. The difference is here, that the Englishman believes in himself and you do not. He believes in his being an Englishman and that he can do anything. That brings out the God within him, and he can do anything he likes. You have been told and taught that you can do nothing. The non-entities you are becoming every day. What we want is strength, so believe in yourselves. We have become weak, and that is why occultism and mysticism come to us. These creepy things. There may be great truths in them, but they have nearly destroyed us. Make your nerves strong. What we want is muscles of iron and nerves of steel. We have wept long enough. No more weeping, but stand on your feet and be men. It is a man-making religion that we want. It is man-making theories that we want. It is man-making education all round that we want. And here is the test of the truth. Anything that makes you weak physically, intellectually, and spiritually, reject as poison. There is no life in it. It cannot be true. Truth is strengthening. Truth is purity. Truth is all knowledge. Truth must be strengthening, must be enlightening, must be invigorating. These mysticisms, in spite of some grains of truth in them, are generally weakening. Believe me, I have a lifelong experience of it. And the one conclusion that I draw that it is weakening. I have travelled all over India, searched almost every cave here and lived in the Himalayas. I know people who have lived there all their lives. I love my nation. I cannot see you degraded, weakened any more than you are now. Therefore, I am bound for your sake and for truth's sake to cry, hold, and to raise my voice against this degradation of my race. Give up these weakening mysticisms and be strong. Go back to your Upanishads, the shining, the strengthening, the bright philosophy, and part from all these mysterious things, all these weakening things. Take up this philosophy. The greatest truths are the simplest things in the world, simple as your own existence. The truths of the Upanishads are before you. Take them up, live up to them, and the salvation of India will be at hand. One more word before I have finished. They talk of patriotism. I believe in patriotism, and I also have my own ideal of patriotism. Three things are necessary for great achievements. First, feel from the heart. What is in the intellect or reason? It goes a few steps and there it stops. But through the heart comes inspiration. Love opens the most impossible gates. Love is the gate to all the secrets of the universe. Feel therefore, my would-be reformers, my would-be patriots. Do you feel? Do you feel that millions and millions of the descendants of God and sages have become next door neighbors to brutes? Do you feel that millions are starving today and millions have been starving for ages? Do you feel that ignorance has come over the land as a dark cloud? Does it make you restless? Does it make you sleepless? Has it gone to your blood, coursing through your veins, becoming consonant with your heartbeats? Has it made you almost mad? Are you seized at the one idea of the misery of ruin? And have you forgotten all about your name, your fame, your wives, your children, your property, even your own bodies? Have you done that? That is the very first step to become a patriot. The very first step. I did not go to America, as most of you know, for the parliament of religions. But this demon of a feeling was in me and within my soul. I travelled 12 years all over India, finding no way to work for my countrymen, and that is why I went to America. Most of you know that who knew me then, who cared about this parliament of religions. Here was my own flesh and blood sinking every day, and who cared for them? This was my first step. You may feel then, but instead of spending your energies in frothing talk, have you found any way out, any practical solution, some help instead of condemnation, some sweet words to soothe their miseries, to bring them out of this living death? Yet that is not all. Have you got the will to surmount the mountain-high obstructions? If the whole world stands against you, sword in hand, would you still dare to do what you think is right? If your wives and children are against you, if all your money goes, your name dies, your wealth vanishes, would you still stick to it? Would you still pursue it and go on steadily towards your own goal? As the great king Bharti Hari says, let the sages blame or let them praise. Let the goddess of fortune come or let her go wherever she likes. Let death come today or let it come in hundreds of years. He indeed is a steady man who does not move 1 inch from the way of truth. Have you got that steadfastness? If you have these three things, each one of you will work miracles. You need not write in the newspapers. You need not go about lecturing. Your very face will shine. If you live in a cave, your thoughts will permeate even through the rock walls, will go vibrating all over the world for hundreds of years, maybe until they will fasten on some brain and work out there. Such is the power of thought, of sincerity, and of purity of purpose. I am afraid I am delaying you, but one word more. This national ship, my countrymen, my friends, my children, this national ship has been ferrying millions and millions of souls across the waters of life. For scores of shining centuries, it has been plying across this water, and through its agencies, millions of souls have been taken to the other shore to blessedness. But today, perhaps through your own fault, this boat has become a little damaged, has sprung a leak, and would you therefore curse it? Is it fit that you stand up and pronounce malediction upon it, one that has done more work than any one other thing in the world? If there are holes in this national ship, this society of ours, we are its children. Let us go and stop the holes. Let us gladly do it with our heart's blood. And if we cannot, then let us die. We will make a plug of our brains and put them into the ship, but condemn it never. Say not one harsh word against this society. I love it for its past greatness. I love you all because you are the children of God. and because you are the children of the glorious forefathers. How then can I curse you? Never. All blessings be upon you. I have come to you, my children, to tell you all my plans. If you hear them, I am ready to work with you. But if you will not listen to them and even kick me out of India, I will come back and tell you that we are all sinking. I am come now to sit in your midst, and if we are to sink, let us all sink together. But never let curses rise to our lips.